Yes, so hello guys, welcome back to another edition of Sports Updates Ghana. My name is Joseph Adamafio, and today we're going to look at 4 coaches who could replace Coach Otto Addo as the next coach of the Black Stars. More coming up here on Sports Updates Ghana. Please subscribe, like, share, and don't forget to leave a comment. So in no particular order, let's get straight into it. So the first coach we have here is Hugo Bruce, and he is the coach of South Africa's Bafana Bafana. He has been doing so well. You know, when Ghana wanted to qualify for the 2022 FIFA World Cup, he's the coach that gave Ghana a big headache, and well, the Black Stars lost to South Africa by 1-0 in the first leg at the FNB Stadium. However, in the second leg, the Black Stars won that game by 1-0, courtesy a penalty which was taken by Andre Ayew in that particular game. And well, Hugo Bruce is a very good coach, and I think that he could be one of the suitable replacements for Coach Otto Addo in the Black Stars. Hugo Bruce has come to love African football, and one of his biggest achievements was winning the AFCON with Cameroon back in, I think, 2017, and it was a huge milestone in the life of the coach. And well, these days he prefers to coach South Africa and has been doing well with them. So unfortunate that he couldn't qualify them for the 2022 FIFA World Cup as Ghana took their place. And now that Coach Otto Addo is not there, I think that Hugo Bruce should fancy his chances of becoming the next Black Stars coach. The big issue is if he is willing to become the next Black Stars coach, and also another big issue is that how much is the GFA willing to pay Hugo Bruce to become the next coach of the Black Stars. It might be, it might cost the Black Stars an arm and a leg to get Hugo Bruce, but hopefully maybe Hugo Bruce might be able to do the job. He's a very disciplined man, and when you look at the South African team, what he tries most is using the players in the local scene, and that is how South Africa have been able to do well in recent past. Well, let's go on and do some more. And the second coach I have here is, well, Harvey Renard. Yes, Harvey Renard, one of the best coaches in the African terrain. And if you ask anyone who Harvey Renard is, I'm not sure they'll struggle to say that Harvey Renard has won the AFCON back-to-back. He first won the AFCON title with Zambia and went on to win it with Ivory Coast as well. So yes, Harvey Renard knows the African terrain very well, and is one of the coaches to become the next replacement for the Black Stars. Harvey Renard, after his departure from Ivory Coast, was one of the coaches that I tipped to become the next Black Stars coach, even before Siki Akono came in, and also followed by Milovan and Coach Otto Addo. Why do I think that Harvey Renard is a very good coach for the Black Stars? He knows the African football and the mentality very well. We are a team that we are looking for a coach that can lead us to break the jinx of not winning the AFCON title in over 40 years, and I think that Harvey Renard has the requisite knowledge and skills to do that. As the current coach of Saudi Arabia, and you know Saudi Arabia, there's not a big team out there when it comes to the World Cup, but they were able to stand Argentina by beating Argentina at the World Cup 2022 group stages, and it's a huge achievement for the coach. He took Zambia from nowhere and was able to win the AFCON with them, I think back in 2013, and went on to achieve that with Ivory Coast as well. And I think that he is a coach that can do the job for the Black Stars, and I think that the GFA should not shy away from approaching Harvey Renard to become the next coach of the Black Stars. Well, how much does he earn, and what will he cost the Black Stars to bring Harvey Renard in? Well, I think that his contract at Saudi Arabia has not ended and will want to continue his way. But if he's a coach who surely cares about achievement, then I think that taking the opportunity to become the next Black Stars coach will be a great choice for Coach Harvey Renard, because he will get the opportunity to lead the Black Stars to win the AFCON title in 2024. And I think that, well, Harvey Renard is a very expensive coach. As at now, I think he earns about 130,000 as salary with Saudi Arabia, and for the GFA to bring him in, I think that is going to be very costly. But I think that if we have what it takes to get him in, why not? We should just bring Harvey Renard in to do the job. It's not a coach that I think that the GFA might have their way across, and also you will not take orders just like that to field players who are not capable of playing for the Black Stars and who are not there yet. So Harvey Renard is one of the the coaches who I think should become the next coach of the Black Stars. Now, the third one I have here is George Boateng. Yes, George Boateng has proven that he's one of the good coaches out there. Well, I think George Boateng to become the next coach of the Blasters as a result of these key issues. Well, George Boateng is currently the assistant coach of Black Stars after Otto Addo left. Now, if you know the terrain of the Black Stars since Kwesi Appiah came in and after taking over from, I think, Milovan Rajevac, you've seen it from there. The succession plan has always been there. In Kwesi Appiah's second stint, he left there and Siki Akono came. After Siki Akono came, we brought in Milovan Rajevac with Coach Otto Addo as his assistant. So Coach Otto Addo has gone on to become the next coach. So the succession plan is something that the GFA has been following. It's something that they've been doing. But can Coach George Boateng do a great job? Well, what we know is that he's the former youth coach of Aston Villa and hasn't coached at the elite stage or at any major tournament yet. And I think that, well, if we've been able to give Coach Otto Addo the chance, should we do another try marquee with George Boateng? Well, I think that if the GFA is willing, but I think that the GFA is looking forward to get him over there. But I don't think he will be able to do the job because of this issue. I feel like he might be compromised, like just Coach Otto Addo was compromised and influenced at the Blasters. But I think that overall he'll be able to bring more discipline in the Blasters. And one thing as well is that he's very youthful and has the right plans and ideas, just like Pep Guardiola, who are all studying the game. But I think that he's a student of Pep Guardiola's style of play, and I think that he will be able to do just a good job. Now, the other coach that I have here is Masudi Dramani, who's also the second assistant coach of the Blasters. Masudi Dramani is one of the highly experienced coaches we have in Ghana. Masudi Dramani has coached Ghana's Black Queens, Ghana's youth side, the Black Satellite, and all the likes. But when it comes to the Black Stars, Masudi Dramani has not been given the chance. And when you look at he being the deputy coach of the Blasters, he was not even in the light. He was always in the shadow. You never hear about Masudi Dramani like that. But he's one of the coaches who has done so well from himself. He's one of the best Ghanaian coaches out there and has coached with some of the club teams abroad, and currently he's one of the coaches for FC Nordjylland. And I think that Masudi Dramani, if we give him the nod, can become maybe the interim coach of the Blasters for now as we look in for a new coach. But if you ask me, I think Masudi Dramani is a good coach. If you bring Masudi Dramani, then I think that you have to bring in his friend as Azakes. Yes, Yusuf Basigi, that's the coach I'm talking about. So if you have Masudi Dramani there and Yusuf Basigi as his assistant, I'm telling you, they'll be able to do a good job. Now, the final person I have here is the one I believe deserves to do the job for the Blasters, and that is Chris Hilton. I believe Chris Hilton is the best choice for the Blasters at the moment. But here is the case. How do I start it? So let me start with how Chris Hilton ended up becoming the technical advisor of the Blasters. So if you've been following my channel for a long time, you realize that I gave you a chronological analysis of how Coach Otto Addo ended up becoming the coach, with Chris Hilton becoming the technical assistant. So Chris Hilton came to Ghana for holidays. Then during that moment, coincidentally, Ghana was looking for a new coach, and the GFA wanted Coach Otto Addo to become the next coach of the Blasters. So, well, the Parliamentary Select Committee also saw that Chris Hilton is the best and experienced person to become the coach of the Blasters. Well, the two sides, that's the Parliamentary Select Committee and also on sports, and also the GFA had to come to a compromise, and the GFA said that, okay, we are the one who calls the shot, you, the parliament or government, are the ones who just do the payment. So we'll compromise, we'll make Coach Otto Addo the head coach, then we'll make Chris Hilton the technical advisor, and that is how we reach a compromise. But it is a big insult to Chris Hilton for him to become a technical advisor to someone who has not even gotten an experience. I'm talking about Coach Otto Addo, who Ghana was doing a favor because he hasn't even coached at any club team yet. He's always been a talent scout and a trainer scout, and that is something he says he enjoys at Dortmund. That is why he's returning back to Dortmund. But for Chris Hilton, he's coached Nottingham Forest, Newcastle, Tottenham Hotspur, where he played and coached as well. An Irish-born Ghanaian. He has followed the Ghanaian team for a long time. He has come close to the team. He knows our weaknesses and strengths. But as a result of he being a technical advisor, I'm sure that is why he will last. But in future, if you are looking for a coach who can do a good job, I think that Chris Hilton is the best choice for us to become the head coach of the Blasters. But one of his weaknesses will always be as a result of either his idea of coaching, that's his philosophy, is still something that will work for the Blasters, or is outmoded. His coaching style outmoded, or his coaching style is something that the Blasters can still play and go and win the AFCON 2024. I think that we'd have to decide. I'm sure he has been getting offers from clubs abroad to come and coach their clubs, but maybe because he's getting closer to an age where he might consider retirement, he wants to achieve something at the national level, and that is why maybe he might fancy his chances to become the next Blasters coach. But if we don't take care, we might lose Chris Hilton to another club team abroad, and that's why I think that we must be very serious in appointing who becomes the next Blasters coach, and the GFE must take their time in doing that and select the next coach who has a succession plan, who has a great plan for the Blasters and development and everything. Well, these are some few ideas about who I think the next Blasters coach could be. Let me know in the comment section if you believe that, well, any of the coaches I mentioned could become the next coach of the Blasters.